I'm Ariel Azor, host of Right This Way, and today we're going to be talking about, well, you could probably guess. I'll give you a hint. Half of America loves him, half of America hates him. What do we all have in common? He is our president. So we're going to talk a little bit about Trump's response to coronavirus. We talked a little bit about the media's response to coronavirus a couple weeks ago, but Trump had a press conference a few days ago, by the time this was posted, and he talked about what we're doing, what we've been doing from the start as soon as we knew there was an issue, an outbreak, and what we're continuing to do. You know, he was super transparent. He told us all about all different things. It was very in depth. He didn't just say we're handling it like a lot of politicians like to tell us we're handling it, and they like to add nice fancy language and distract us with other things. But he told us exactly what's going on, what he's doing, what his administration is doing. He told us all kinds of things that are exactly what we would want to hear as Americans who are maybe potentially worried about the coronavirus coming to America and being an epidemic in America as well. So we'll start off with the beginning. The first thing he did was he stopped travel from areas where we knew the virus already had been an outbreak. He stopped travel for non-American citizens. So they couldn't come to America if they weren't already American citizens and they were coming from one of these places. Good idea. Yeah, really good idea. We've had a couple confirmed cases, and so far, I think everybody has either gotten better or still has it and hopefully is getting better. I don't believe any Americans have died in America from it at this point. And so far, as long as you're in America, for the most part, we have the doctors, we have the equipment, the technology to pretty much take care of you, keep you hydrated and keep you alive. Very similar to what we saw with Ebola when Americans would come back to America with it. For the most part, we were able to keep them alive because we had the right technology and doctors and all of this stuff. And because we're very good at containing things. So Trump also set up several areas that are supposed to be quarantine areas if American citizens come and they have coronavirus or potentially have coronavirus or anything like that. I know with the cruise ship that was in Japan, I think they just released those people. So for things like that, that's what that's going to be used for. Containment area, to try to be sure we capture it before they're out and about infecting other people, because of course containing it is obviously the best defense other than a vaccine. Actually, probably still better than a vaccine if you can successfully contain it, of course. So that's the other thing we're going to get to, is he said we are working on a vaccine. I think China probably has a vaccine. I mean, if it's true that they created this, which of course that's, not 100% verified, but I think it's plausible. But if it's true that they created this, I think it's very plausible that they have the vaccine, the cure for it. But at any rate, we in America, our scientists are working diligently to find a cure. And he said they're very confident that they'll have the vaccine relatively soon. No one knows what that means, of course. You can't really. So, I mean, obviously the point is they're working as hard as they can to get it done as soon as they can. And then from there, we can work on getting it out to other countries as well, where they really, really need it, which is a great thing for America to be doing, by the way. The fact that we not only can completely contain it and control it, we can also actually help other people solve the issue. It's pretty awesome if that's how it works out. I hope it does. So the next part of this is the task force that Trump sort of created to oversee this. He put Pence in charge. He's the vice president of the United States. So I don't know what makes you more qualified to oversee a big issue like this. I mean, it shows that Trump's taking it seriously. It shows that he's absolutely making every effort he can to ensure that we do whatever we can to keep Americans safe. That's what that says. But, of course, Democrats complained and mainstream media complained. They said, of course he's gonna choose Pence to do this because Pence is his friend and Pence will do it the way Trump wants it done. Well, of course. I mean, it's kind of true, right? Because he is the president of the United States, and yes, he is a Republican, but he wants this done. That's the thing, is this is not a partisan issue. It's completely bipartisan. It should be. And it's so horrible that they're making it such a big deal. If you don't see it happening with obviously issues, gun control and healthcare and all of those things, of course, those are not bipartisan issues. This absolutely 1000% should be a bipartisan issue. There's no like Democrat or Republican response to like a virus epidemic, pandemic, whatever. There's no partisan response to that. That doesn't have anything to do with party lines. There are no party lines in that case. Now, they complain about every single thing Donald Trump does because they hate him. They literally hate him with everything in them. And it's a horrible thing to see our country going through. It's a horrible thing for our government, for productivity. They can't get a single thing done. One of the reasons that they hindered Trump in the beginning of doing this and trying to make this task force and all of that was that he wanted half the budget they were going to give him. That's all he asked for. He only wanted like half, and they were like, no, you need this much. And he was like, well, okay, but I don't. So I'm going to get exactly what you're going to get done for half the price. And they're complaining about it. They're like, he's not putting enough money into this. He's taking away from other resources. Hold on, Nancy. Hold on a second. Because that money is our tax dollars. It's almost as if Nancy Pelosi, who has been in the government for the last 105 years, doesn't know where money comes from. It's insane. Could it be true? It absolutely is true. It would explain very much why she's been spending it the way she has, why she never gets anything done, how she has so much money. It would explain a lot of things. But at the end of the day, Nancy Pelosi doesn't know what she's talking about. We want this done correctly, properly, so Americans are safe. Absolutely. But one thing about conservatives and Republicans in general in government is that they try to involve the government as little as possible and to keep costs of these things low for Americans. So they're spending less tax dollars, then they have to tax us less. And when they tax us less, we make more money. So we go out and spend more money. And of course, that boosts the economy in turn. And that's the cycle that never ends if Trump is your president forever, but that won't happen, we know. So sad. So Nancy's complaining because he's going to do exactly what she was going to do for half the money. She's butthurt. He's going to do it, and he's going to do it twice as well. That's what she's so upset about, that she can't be in charge of this. Nancy, you can't do anything right. Donald Trump is another story. Trump has been in office for 3 years, and he has already almost completely reversed what Obama did to employment rates, to the economy. It took Trump not even 3 full years to completely, unemployment rates are at an all-time record low. That's insane. 3 years. He's not even been president for a full term. But they hate every single thing that he does. Not only does Pelosi complain about how much funding Trump asked for, she also has the audacity to say that this is a bipartisan solution we're trying to come to, and we're trying to work together. No, you're not. You literally just said in the exact same sentence, you bashed him and said, we're working together.
Of my telling this, unfortunately, up until now, the Trump administration has mounted an opaque and often chaotic response to this outbreak.
So here's Pelosi on stage calling Trump's response, his administration's response to the outbreak, chaotic and vague, I think. What? Nancy, if that were true, we would have so many people infected in this country. So many. What are you even talking about? It literally doesn't make sense. He just got up there and told you everything that's going on. He was completely transparent with the American people. And here you are lying because you know half of America is not going to listen to a word that comes out of his mouth. But whatever you say, no matter how you say it, as long as it is not in favor of Trump, they're going to be like, oh yeah, your job is easy now. That's all you have to do now. But it's not true. And it's not honest. This is the Speaker of the House. In the first minute, she's already said 3 different bad things about Trump. But we're working together. He's just really chaotic. He didn't ask for enough money. He's not doing a good job. I could do better. Nancy, again, 105 years. What have you done? Nothing. Still nothing.
Council and the Department of Homeland Security, they left them vacant. They dismissed the people and never filled the slots. They were there from previous administration.
So they didn't need to be there. We were having like 2 people doing the job of 1. So Trump said, don't need that. Yeah, that's exactly what just happened. She's complaining about that.
The Trump budget calls for slashing almost $700 million from the Center for Disease Control. And this was the budget, which came out after we knew about the coronavirus.
So he just saved us money. And you're complaining. Yeah. Just because it's in the budget doesn't mean we should spend it.
Threat. And now it continues to devalue our health needs by ransacking other public health needs, whether it's the Ebola fund or others. So that.
Okay, she didn't explain that really at all, whatever she's trying to, whatever that little dig was there. He's slashing the Ebola fund. How many confirmed cases of Ebola have we had in the last 6 months? Or even actually probably like 2 years? I'd bet money it's 0. So why do we have a fund for it? Why can't we take the money from that and put it toward a virus that actually has confirmed cases? Like, why is that crazy?
Was up until now. Now we are trying to work in a bipartisan way, and that's one of the reasons that I was delayed in meeting with you this morning.
Partisan again. Yeah, we're working in a bipartisan way. That's why I've said 6 different bad things about him in the last 60 seconds I've been on stage. Again, coronavirus, not a partisan issue. We should absolutely have our government working together to get this done, to do what is necessary to help American people and hopefully to also be able to help Chinese people and people in all different countries that are infected with the coronavirus. That's the goal. And I kind of think that's also Pelosi and the rest of the left's goal, but it really doesn't seem like it. How dysfunctional that you cannot agree on a budget. He literally, like, Trump's not asking for $11 million and they're giving him 2. He's asking for 2 and they're giving him 11. That's insane. They're fighting about that. And I mean, Trump's not fighting about that. He was like, all right, sure. You can give me that much. I only need this much. That's all he's saying. It's what he's doing. And that's definitely not the right number. I made that up, just so everybody's clear. Seriously. They cannot even work together. People's lives are at stake. And this isn't the sort of thing where it's like gun control and they're saying like lives are at stake and they're like not in immediate danger. I think our lives actually are at stake. I really actually think that there is immediate danger. Kind of. I mean, if it's not contained, there absolutely is. And the step we're in, the process is containment at this point. We don't have a cure for it. So that's definitely where we're at. And I really do think it kind of is life or death, not for all of America. But I mean, it definitely is. It's definitely a dangerous thing if it's not controlled, if it's not contained. And that's what we're trying to do. And they cannot even work together to do that. They want to fight him at every single step. And he actually did a good thing. Like I said, he took it super seriously by appointing Pence, the vice president, to be the head of this task force for this. And they're like, oh my gosh, they used Pence. Of course he did. He literally is his right-hand man. That's what he's there for. That is what, like, the vice president, that's his job. And you're complaining about it because you hate him just because he's connected to Trump. That's so horrible. That's so toxic for our government. I would hope that young people can understand the importance of cutting a toxic person out of your life. So toxic, they don't get anything done. I mean, they get up there and have the audacity to say, we're doing this for the American people, and this is a bipartisan thing, and we are doing everything we can to work with him, and you're fighting him every single step of the way. And the worst part is, half of America believes you. Don't be that half. If you enjoyed this episode, you can give me a thumbs up on YouTube. You can leave a review on Apple Podcasts. And you can also check out my Instagram at right.this.way.